You know, when seeing the first trailers to this movie, I felt that I had seen this movie about 9 months ago. The film that I'm talking about is called This Is Where I Leave You, and it has an ensemble cast of some amazing talents throughout the years. I mean, Jane Fonda's in the movie, and we really don't get to see her in movies very much anymore, and she's got a starring part, but the main star of this film is Jason Bateman. The film also stars Tina Fey, Rose Byrne, Timothy Olyphant, Amy Driver, I know I'm going to be forgetting some people, Catherine Hahn, Connie Burnett. I'm going to forget so many other people because there's so many people, and I apologize if I forget even somebody that's a major star, but there's a lot of people that are in this film. And, you know, it looked really good, even though I'm not a big fan of director Shawn Levy. You know, he's kind of, some of his films are good, like Cheaper by the Dozen, and I liked Real Steel and Date Night, but then there's some movies I never really got into, the Night of the Museum movies, which were actually, he's coming out with another one at Christmas time, so there you go. Good chance to see Robin Williams in a movie one more time. But with this film, it looked like I had already seen this movie before. A family gets together, they suffer a tragedy, the father of this huge family passes away, and they kind of come together for this thing called, this Jewish thing where they sit down and they talk to people. I'm not going to try and say it and butcher, but for 7 days, they sit around and they kind of share their feelings with people around. They get a chance, their friends and family get a chance to come and visit them, and they're all suffering, but at the same time it's a good chance for them to get together because there's major plot points, of course, that involve all the cast members. And I feel like everybody, from the big parts to the small parts, get a chance to shine. Of course, it's Jason Bateman who's the main character and brings us into the story. He works for a DJ and finds out one day that the DJ that he works for is sleeping with his wife and has been doing it for over a year. So he goes home and he finds out his father has died. There's also some crazy stories between Tina Fey and Timothy Olyphant's character, and then Amy Driver and Connie Burnett's character, and then there's a lot going on in this movie, and I think if it was handled differently, it would have all fallen apart. But thankfully, I think Shawn Levy, who does a really good job in it. I think this might be his first or second R-rated movie. He's known to do maybe PG-13, PG movies, play it safe, but I'm not really sure. I have to check on that, but I think this might be his first R-rated film. I think he does a good job for doing something that's more adult. I like this film was R-rated, so it could take more chances, even though it doesn't really go over the top, mainly in the department of language and stuff like that. But I liked the camaraderie of the family. I felt like they were a family that really came off real enough, not as real as some other films that I've seen, but real enough to get you to care about them, to care about the ultimate situation, and you want them to kind of come together and work things out. They've just lost the patriarch of the family, and I think the writing of this film is good. It's decent. I bet, since it's based on a book, I bet that the novel is stronger and probably has a chance to dig more deep with these characters, even though the author actually wrote the screenplay. But he does a really good job what he has to do in about 40 minutes of time. I like some of the music in this film. If I didn't mention, Rose Byrne is in the movie, and she plays a character that kind of is falling in love with the Jason Bateman character. That's one problem I had about the movie, which was nice. Everybody had chemistry, but the movie was a tad predictable. I could see some elements of the film coming a mile away, but in the end it didn't really bother me because the characters seemed like they really just got along. Again, you cared about them, and that was really helpful. You sympathized with them, and you wanted each of them to accomplish whatever they were trying to accomplish. And that's what's really nice. I mean, you throw all these characters in, and you know it's hard to get the audience to actually like them all. And I like them all, and I got a sense of them, even though some of them are, again, smaller parts than the others. And Jane Fonda, who I'm not the biggest fan of, personal life, not a big fan, but as an actress and at this movie, this is probably the best thing she's done in maybe 30 years. I can't remember the last good Jane Fonda movie. Did I say Jane Austen? Sorry about that. Jane Fonda movie. You know, she just really is a good mother. She's a good mother, and she does a good job with, I think, the prosthetics that she has to deal with in this movie. Go see the movie, you'll find out why. You know, I like this movie. It's not a perfect film, but I think it was better when it was called August Osage County. That's all I'm going to say. But in the end, it's still a good movie, and definitely worth checking out, and a good film from a director that I'm just not a big fan of. I don't hate the guy, I'm just not a big fan of him, but I think Sean Levy does a really good job with the material he has to do here, and I would like for him to return to more adult fare instead of doing all this kiddie stuff, and hopefully he'll never make another Pink Panther movie. Just don't ever do that, please, ever again. But you know what? I'm not a big fan of the Night in the Museum movies, but I'm looking forward to it. Mainly the fact that we get to see Robin Williams on the screen one more time, and I'm looking forward to that in some weird way. Mainly the fact of him, not because of the movie. Don't care about the movie, but I care about him. Anyways, back to this film. This is where I leave you. Is where I'm going to leave you right now and give you my rating of the film. I thought it was a good, solid movie, and definitely something worth checking out. A good date movie, probably for the older folks of the audience that are maybe watching this. I think some people that are maybe in their 20s or early 30s will enjoy it as well. I give the film a solid 3 stars out of 4. I'm MovieManCHAD. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Twitter, and I'm on Facebook, and please go to WeLiveFilm.com and subscribe right here on YouTube to We Live Film. Also go to Long Beach Acting and Film Association right here on Facebook and Twitter. Please also go to MoviePod.com, and if you've enjoyed this movie review, please click right here and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Have a great day, a wonderful night, and a wonderful life, and I'll talk to you at my next movie review. Bye, everyone. Peace be with you, my friends.